Well, today I'm having a test ride with the Harley Davidson 48. It's a small bike. I'm not a very big person, so I especially asked for a small bike. It's a 1200cc. It's a amazing design. There are some things that I would do differently, but like it's a small tank, and you have some space here that hasn't been used. So that's the only thing that I would change maybe. For the rest, it's a amazingly beautiful bike. The intention of the bike is to make everything as simple and basic as possible. You can see the controls. Not a lot of buttons to push. The most important thing is you don't need to put your key in the contact. There's an amazing sound. Of course, like every Harley, you can feel the cylinders pounding. There's some vibration, but it actually doesn't feel that much when you put your hands on the handlebars. The blinkers are one on each side. You have a speedometer, and for the rest you just can see if you're in neutral or and that's it. It's a very compact bike. I have short legs and I don't have any problems to reach the forward controls. The suspension is kind of hard, but I think that's actually normal with the most Harleys. The feeling is great. Well, at first I thought that the handlebars were a bit short, a bit small, but actually it makes it much easier to steer. Wow, the sound is amazing. The biggest problem I have is with the blinkers. You have a blinker on each side of the handlebars, and normally it's just your left hand push up or push right and left, and this is a bit confusing. And also the mirrors are under the handlebars, and visibility is not very good. But, but when you hit the throttle, it just shoots away. It's a 1200cc, so it's a lot of power for such a small bike. Actually, the position you sit on the bike, for me it's ideal because I'm not a very big person. But I think when you have longer legs than me, it might be a bit too short. I'm always searching for the blinkers. That's something to get used to. Oh, now I'm standing for a crossroads, and you can feel the engine tremble. It's not really unpleasant. It really makes you feel you have a lot of power under you. But I can imagine when you take a longer ride, that you might start to feel numb in some places. The brakes are not superb, but they're good. The shifting is very easy. You just have to touch it a little bit, and it goes into the next gear. Even though it has forward controls, it shifts very lightly. The sound is amazing. That's typical for a Harley Davidson. You can understand why people ride Harley Davidsons. I'm used to cruisers, but it's something different. A Harley Davidson is really something different. You sit a little bit forward with your back. It's actually for me it's a comfortable position, and the seat isn't as hard as I suspected. Especially the torque, I really like that. It shoots away when you want to pass someone. There's no problem of speeding up, and the sound of the engine is so loud that you don't really need an RPM meter. You can hear by the sound of the engine that you need to shift or not. So it really is something special, the tremble of the bike. You can really feel the power it has. It's maybe one thing that I would change about this bike. This bike really asks for ape hangers. If you can put your hands a bit higher, you have something more straight up position. But those things are immediately forgotten when you hit the throttle. It's a fun bike. It really is. I have to say, it's for a cruiser. It's not heavy. It goes quickly through the bends. It steers pretty sharp, so you don't have to push it into a bend. And the faster you go, the less you feel the trembles. That's something important as well. When you're just cruising, it's actually not that bad. It has a very small turning circle. That's kind of surprising. It's actually a very stable bike. Put your hands lightly on the handlebars. It doesn't start to wobble or anything. It just goes very smoothly ahead. I don't think it's a bike to use for riding long distances, because I think you might get a painful back, and the trembling might make your hands and back start to feel numb. But it's a cool bike. But actually also is strange on this bike is that it's so narrow in between my legs, because you cannot put your knees against the tank to feel the bike, to use your knees to as support when you're steering into a corner or something. You can almost for me it's even hard to reach the gas tank with my knees. Well, we're back at the starting point. Thank you for watching. Just want to say that it's an amazing bike to ride with. It has a lot of torque. The tremble is something you might have to get used to, but I think that's with every Harley Davidson. The mirrors, that's a minor point. Maybe the small tank for the same. But everything else, it's a fun bike to ride. It's a lot faster and it's a lot more agile than I expected. And I even might consider buying one, because I'm a small person, and I think it's ideal for people who aren't too big. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. Bye bye.
Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you like what we are doing, you can always like our Facebook page or subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.